From the attorney getting attacked to the convicts getting attacked. Stay tuned as we explore the case of shocking courtroom outbursts caught on camera. This is Taylor Schabusiness, who is in court for the disappearance of her husband. On the evening of February 23, 2022, tragedy struck when Taylor caused Shad Therian to disappear. The body was later discovered by the victim's mother, Tara Pakanich, in a basement. Back in court, as Taylor's attorney attempted to schedule a date, it triggered a reaction from Taylor. Taylor attacked her own attorney, the only person in the courtroom standing by her side and attempting to protect her. However, Taylor's perspective appeared to differ as she launched the attack on her attorney. Taylor didn't land any hits on the attorney, as the attorney swiftly prevented it from happening by holding her hands. The officers were quick to intervene and de-escalate the situation by pulling Taylor down. Taylor persisted in resisting and attempted to fight against the officers.
Stop it. Rachel, call.
Despite being instructed to stand down, she continued to struggle in her attempts to break free. As she persisted, a second officer was called in to assist.
Rachel, call.
Followed by a third officer. The attorney who was attacked was unharmed and did not sustain any injuries. After some time, Taylor realized that she didn't stand a chance, so she gave up and was then escorted out.
5 monitor. We're moving to a second floor.
Taylor Schabusiness was sentenced to life without parole. This case might be unsettling, but the next one is truly wild.
As soon as TJ Lane walked in, he was executing his plan, taking off his button-down shirt to reveal this, a white t-shirt with the word "kill" scribbled on it, showing it off with a smug smile on his face.
This is Thomas Michael Lane III, who prefers to be called TJ Lane. TJ Lane appeared in court facing grave accusations stemming from a harrowing incident. He was charged with 3 counts of taking life, 2 counts of attempted aggravated taking life, and 1 count of felonious assault following a tragic event that unfolded on February 27, 2012. On that day, chaos enveloped Chardon High School when Lane, then a student, opened fire on a group of his peers. This devastating act resulted in the deaths of 3 students, Russell King Jr., Demetrius Hewlin, and Daniel Parmertor, and left 3 others wounded. During his time in court, Lane's actions made the families of the victims feel even worse. He wore a t-shirt with "killer" written on it, which was very upsetting. He also made rude gestures at the families, making them feel even more hurt by his behavior.
Saying pull the trigger that killed your son, now masturbates to memory. All of you.
Nick is a very kind and loving. Why would you want to hurt him? You don't know kind. You're evil. I will have to eventually forgive you. Otherwise, you will haunt me. You will never, ever be in my thoughts after this. Never. My family will move on, not you. You have ruined your life, not to mention Adam's. He even gave you a ride. Nick even gave you a ride from school. He was thinking about inviting you back to that table because he felt sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. I have watched my son suffer daily, every hour, every minute, but we'll always remember that someone tried to kill 5 people, and all they did was want to go to school.
Despite being tried as an adult, Lane pled guilty to all charges.
So did you plead guilty today?
Yes, Your Honor.
The presiding judge meticulously explained the implications of this plea.
You understand that you're pleading guilty. You want to plead guilty to the 3 aggravated charges with 3 firearm specifications.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ensuring Lane understood the severity of his actions and the corresponding consequences.
Now, do you understand that if a sentence of life without parole is imposed, you will remain in prison until your own death?
Yes.
Lane was convicted and sentenced to 3 life sentences without the chance of parole. He only avoided the death penalty because he was 17 at the time. While this case is disturbing, the next case is shocking as the defendant gets attacked. This is Deshawn Brown, a 23-year-old man that's in court for taking 2 lives. The 2 victims were the 3-year-old Nilo Lattimore and his mother, Nia Lattimore. This happened in December 2020, where Deshawn chose to fatally attack Nia Lattimore and disposed of her body in the Ohio River using a body bag. After he threw the mother in the river, he also made her son, Nilo, disappear. The cause for the Deshawn's actions were allegedly, a woman told police that Brown blamed Lattimore for having a miscarriage and talked about make her and Nilo disappear in retaliation. This is what Nia Lattimore's father had to say.
If I could look Deshawn Brown in the eye right now, I would say to him, Deshawn Brown, you deserve nothing less but the death penalty.
While Ntia's father limited his expression of anger to words alone, her husband showed his feelings in other ways. Tonio Hughes, the husband, was in court for the sentencing of Deshawn, but that wasn't the only reason he was present. As the husband listened to Deshawn describe his actions towards his wife and child in court,
Deshawn Brown threw the toddler into the Ohio River alive in December 2020. Brown is also accused of stabbing Nitisha to death before wrapping her body in this body bag they say he bought on eBay.
he became overwhelmed and attacked Deshawn from behind, successfully landing a punch. As the husband landed a few punches, officers quickly intervened and subdued him on the ground.
Base, can we get back up in 560 now? Don't move!
Once handcuffed, one might think he would cease his actions. However, the opposite occurred as he continued to try attacking Deshawn.
Calm down. Stop. Stop. Are you okay? What's wrong? Chill out. Take it. Take it.
After officers regained control over him on the ground, another officer escorted Deshawn out of the courtroom to prevent any further altercations. Nilo Lattimore's father was found guilty of contempt of court and sentenced to 7 days, but the judge released him 3 days early. However, a trial date has not been set yet for Deshawn as he faces charges related to the loss of 2 lives and tampering with evidence. He may potentially face the death penalty. While this case is tragic, the next one is equally tragic as it involves a defendant attacking a judge in court. This is Sidney Newsome. He is in court facing domestic violence charges, restrained by handcuffs and shackles. Despite this, he remained calm throughout the trial, even while reviewing paperwork. However, tension began to rise when the transport officer tapped the table, visibly irritating him. Shortly after, Newsome's mother and brother entered the court. As he attempted to greet them, he was restrained by the transport officer, leading the judge to signal to the family that greetings were not permitted and they should take their seats. This further aggravated Newsome. Shortly after, while Newsome was signing paperwork and the officer was handing the papers to the judge, Newsome showed signs of resistance to going to jail. He began arguing with the judge, which led to the judge requesting his removal from the court. However, Newsome refused to leave, and as the officer directed him towards the door, he became extremely agitated. Initially, he grabbed a bunch of papers and threw them at the judge, leading the officer to quickly intervene. Despite her attempts to subdue Newsome, he overpowered her, escalating the situation further. He then grabbed a telephone and throwed it at the judge. While the chaos, Newsome's mother is seen begging him to stop. The situation took a shocking turn when the judge fed up with Newsome's behavior of throwing papers at him, took control. He forcefully pinned Newsome down onto the table, further escalating the tension in the courtroom. Newsome's brother then joined in. Eventually, 4 more officers arrived and took control of the situation. They held Newsome's brother away while another officer escorted Newsome out of the courtroom. Although Newsome's brother was not charged with any crime, Newsome himself faced an additional charge of contempt of court. This resulted in him serving an additional 48 hours in jail on top of his previous charges. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and give the video a like.